So, it's now about 4 o'clock, so after a 3-hour track drying period, they would restart this race here. As you can see, it's considerably darker as it's getting later in the day. We expected the race to be over kind of by now, but you have to make it to, there are some more showers in the area, and you have to make it to lap 87 to get it to halfway. So here they go down the back straightaway. Looks like Bobby Jones is already going for the lead now. Bobby Jones has worked his way up the order, and since this track is a green racetrack, we're expecting it to be a little bit different the way it's been running as John Arndt jives for the lead. John Arndt goes way down low and steals the lead out of nowhere. However, the 1 is going to fight back on the outside, and the 1 is going to lead the first lap back. So remember, 88 is halfway in the American 700. Of course, the counter's been reset to show how many laps there are really to go from this point. So now, you've got some drivers, the 2 FBRs have worked their way up the grid as well. They did so in the first segment, and immediately you're already seeing that they're getting a lot more racy than they were in the first bit of this race, as the 82 now is trying to, or the 83 now is trying to set up the 1 for the lead of this race. The 9 is coming as well. The 9's never won a one-off race before, Kenny Myatt hasn't, and this is going to be a thrilling showdown, I think, hopefully for the rest of the races. Here comes the 83 looking down low on the 1. And the 1 car is not going to let him easy get that position as the 5 now slots into line. And here we go. Down the back straightaway again. Everybody, all 38 cars remaining in this race are still in it, I believe. As the 83 tried to go for the lead again, not going to get it there. Tried down low to get it. However, it once again is going to be tire wear. That's going to be major effect. It's going to be a major effect around here. The 5 now is trying to make a move stick on the inside. Now the 31's looking for it. But how's the 9 going to respond to this? The 9 is going to, I think, stay side by side with the 5 off the corner. Here comes the 31 down low. And the 31 is going to, I think, oh no, the 9 actually holds off the 5 and now is going on the 83. So this is very close racing now, and you could definitely tell that they were really holding back on that first segment, or that first stint of this race. Remember, all these lead lap all these cars that were a couple laps down got their laps back under this red flag, and Eddie Champadkar, who was very quick early on all weekend, is now back on the lead lap. So I'm going to watch somebody like Padkar, who I believe is one of the fastest cars on the track right now, as he's just carving his way through the field since the restart. It's been about 5 total laps since the restart, and Padkar is a man on a mission here to get back up the grid. Meanwhile, Trek Tauger's still trying to work on the 5. However, the 5 is just got such a run off the corner. The 5's actually going to go low on the 9 for 3rd. And that is not going to work out, I think, as well for the 5 here, unless if he really dives in deep, which he's doing. That's what he needs to do. And the 5 actually gets a very solid run through the center of the corner, and actually is going to start setting up the 83. And the 5 takes over 3rd position. Meanwhile, Madeline Knights continues to lead this race. Car 8 is now carving his way up to 26th position. I think he restarted like 36th, though. In 7 laps, he's already gained 10 positions, so Padkar is definitely going to be a threat as this race continues. This is a very, very important race for somebody like Eddie Champadkar. Ray Hall now is looking definitely to try and get by Arndt for 2nd position. Ray Hall and Arndt are very, very competitively matched. Here comes Vince Freeze up the order as well. This is where things get very interesting and tight here. Wow, look at the 5 through the center of the corner, nailed by the 83. And the 83 didn't get a great run through the center of the corner, so 5 to the 2nd position. And I'm thinking the 5 is going to definitely try and set up the 1 for the lead. As the 83 runs the 9 down the track a bit there. The 9 was going to make a move, and the 83 put a very aggressive defensive block on him. And definitely a lot more aggression we're seeing in this segment. However, the 9 would then become a man on a mission as he gets by the 5 car and now is trying to chase down the 1 for the lead of this race. Well, he hasn't gotten by the 5 just yet. That inside line is a very difficult line to get right here. And you're seeing the 1 is just blocking kind of both lines here. However, the 31 is definitely helping the 9, and I think the 9's going to take over 2nd. So it is a Maya 1-2 at the front of the field. Car 1 and Car 9 lead us. Now look at the 15 dive in there to take over second position. Where did DJ Curtis come from? And Curtis is going to try and go for the lead. Curtis with a very aggressive move for the lead of this race. And DJ Curtis nearly makes contact with the one there. The one tried to slot in there, but not going to make it work. And just look at how tight this is in the front of this field. As we are starting to see some of this tire wear really start to take shape here. And this is where things get very, very tight at the front of the field. And now the 15 is now taking over the lead of this race. So DJ Curtis almost was 2 laps down at one point. Now is leading the race. So it just shows what that rain delay can do. And Chase Dunbar and Marion Shaw would be the first 2 cars to bring it down pit road for the start of the second portion of the American or for the start of the first pit stop of the second portion of the American 700, I guess. And so now you've got a lot of tire issues now, and these 2 cars they know they're not the fastest, so they're going to try and get it on pit strategy here. And this is a pretty aggressive move if you ask me. Oh, crash on track, the 5's around, and the 8 clobbers him! The 8 clobbered him! Gurian misses, the 44 nearly gets contact, so Roman Rahal and Eddie Shumpadkar are going to fall out of the race. And oh, that was a big hit by Padkar there. Roman Rahal was definitely attempting to come down pit road here, and the 9 goes underneath him, doesn't realize that, and oh, right here, the 9's just kind of stuck there. The 5 gets turned by the 9, the 5 goes up the track, and then the 8 just had nowhere to go but clobber him. Luckily, the 5 could drive home. The 8 would need some help getting out of the car. However, Eddie Shumpadkar would end up being all right after that hit. So Roman Rahal and Padkar are going to fall out. And here we go with Eddie Shumpadkar. We're on board with him here. Bunch of cars are all signaling they're going to pit. Padkar knows he's going to stay out. And just right here, the 5 just gets turned by the 9 there. Not a whole lot the 9 was going to do about that there. It just was not. The 8 just had nowhere to go. So Chase Dunbar and Marion Shaw would end up actually getting screwed over by that caution there. We expected that to be a pretty good strategy call, however, it simply just didn't work out for him with that caution there. So it's going to be DJ Curtis leading, Dornan Bouchard and Kyle Pachelia and Vincent Allen back to the green with Kenny Myatt in 5th, Dover 6th, Lamas 7th, and I think Dormitory 8th, and Gurian 9th. All these cars, remember, did not hit under the green. Everybody else brought it in under green and had to go to the tail end of the lap because of it, because they'd already committed when the caution came out. And well, that's going to be pretty interesting. As look at the 9 now is trying down low again to try and get back to the 15 car. And there are lap cars all over the place here, just trying to set up a, just trying to get their laps back. Remember, we're not sure if there's going to be another rain shower. However, there is rain in the area. And if it goes red again, then it goes back to the whole 2 laps can come back situation, where if you're 2 laps down, you can get your laps back. So if there's another rain shower or anything that's enough to cause a red flag for rain where the drivers can get out of their car, that's what happens. And here comes Kenny Myatt back through the field now to try and reset up his second place run here. Curtis is gone though right now. And we saw DJ Curtis was a big beneficiary of the first rainstorm we had. So now Myatt is now in second position here as we go through the order. Some of the cars that really got hurt by that caution flag were like Madeline Myatt, who was leading at the time, or not leading, but second at the time, and a couple other cars just really got hurt by that caution there, as while one of the Reddit Davis cars have already fallen out of the race, and the Reddit Davis cars have been some of the most impressive cars of the weekend here. And with Rahal out, along with Padkar, another really quick car this weekend, the two cars from the fastest teams on the grid just fell out in that wreck. So now you've got a big situation here in the middle of the pack with a lot of these faster cars being stuck in the middle, and not a whole lot for them to do, not a whole lot of places for them to go. Car 9 of Kenny Myatt now is going for the lead. However, he isn't going to get it that time, and Bouchard's going to try and set him up. A lot of orange at the front of the field, if you ask me, but here comes that's the 88 going for the lead there. That's a little bit of an ill-timed move, though. The 9's going to get a big run, though, off the corner here, and this is going to, oh, look at the 9 now is going for the lead now, and it depends on how deep the 9 dives in there. And I don't know, that might not be a great move. However, Curtis did enter quite high. And actually, the 9 is able to sweep off a little better. Here comes Gurian, who scraped the wall trying to avoid that wreck. He's in 4th. And now Gurian is going to fight for the lead. And here's the 9 once again going for the lead of this race. However, that time it's definitely not going to work out well because Myatt's car bogged down in the center of the corner. The 73 of Gurian, however, would clear Bouchard, I believe, for third, rather. Maybe not yet clear him, but we're going to see how it turns out for him. Hasn't cleared him yet, as Bisceglia now is a big factor in the 35, and no, Bouchard gets the spot back, so very competitive racing at the front of the field. Now Bouchard now is trying to make a move. Oh, caution is on the track! This one will be the lap car, Chase Dunbar coming down on Zolt Dormitory, and around goes the 78 into the wall, and that would be a crash on the circuit. So another yellow flag is going to fly here in this American 700. Both cars that were involved in that wreck would continue, as Chase Dunbar's race went from bad to worse to terrible right there. As DJ Curtis is going to lead the field back to the restart. Cody Lamas with a really quick pit stop there takes over second position, and away we go once again. Third is Jake Baskinger. Fourth is now Dunbar is going to be a problem. It looks like Dunbar is incredibly slow on track, and watch out for the 25. Oh, that was close, and it looks like somebody is going to get held up there. Looks like everybody toward the back is going to get held up here, and when you got a slow car on track like this, Vincent Allen with a very slow situation here. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he has a problem with that car, and maybe he grenaded the motor. Well, we know he didn't grenade the motor, but he did end up, he is down a cylinder, or there is something wrong with that car. They think it might be a cylinder misfire. However, he is having a lot of issues with the Silver Speed car, so that car just probably isn't lucky for the American 700, if you ask me. Jake Baskinger is now taking over second with Vince Freeze third, Tauger fourth, Bouchard fifth, Bisceglia and Lamas are battling for sixth. Lamas has fallen back since the start, though, simply because the KR Super is just not that strong of a car, but he is doing his best right here in the rather lackluster 48 car. Scott Roush has experienced another tire problem and had to pit again. So, oh no, I'm sorry, did Roush have one before? I'm not exactly recalling if he did or didn't. But Roush has a tire problem and would actually go a lap down because of it. Tough break for Roush. Dornan Bouchard now has taken over second position with Brock third over a couple of cars that are now just all battling for position here. And this is where now you're going to start seeing Bouchard's really closed in on his teammate for the lead of this race. The pole sitter for the American 700, Bouchard, now is going to be fighting with the fifth American 700 winner, DJ Curtis, for the lead of this race here. Brock has come out of nowhere. He was on the outside of the front row, and now is in third. He has been falling. He's been flirting in the back the whole race so far. Freeze and Caldwell. Caldwell's a surprise up this high up the grid right now as well, with Bisceglia, Johan Arndt, Kenny Myatt, Noah Hart, and John Arndt, all rounding out your top 10. The two front row Pullman drivers, Brock and Bouchard, are battling for second position as now they've caught DJ Curtis. Ever since the rain delay, we have not had a green flag pit stop really go over well, a cycle go through, so I'm interested to see if we can get through a cycle today, or for the rest of the day. I'm pretty sure we will, because we still have a long way to go in this race. And a little further back in sixth, it's only the top five are really together. Okay, Brock now has made a move on Bouchard and now is trying to make a move on the 15 car. Bouchard's trying to stick his nose in there and really help his teammate. Here comes Johan Arndt right up to this battle now. And the fact that Brock didn't have any help up there really hurt him, because now Arndt on the outside is trying to make a move for third, and I think he's going to get it because Brock had to bog down. The 88 now is going for the lead of the race on the 15 car, and this is once again where this fun's going to begin, because we've got a lot of people now just doing battle at the front of the field, and this race has seriously got pretty fun from what was a pretty tame start. Here comes the 88 to the lead of the race. The 08's there as well. I'm sorry, wrong car there. We clicked on Dunbar by mistake. And now the 08 is taking over second with Dornan Bouchard back in the lead. He hasn't led since the first pit stop stint. And now the 15's tires are falling off pretty bad now, because it looks like the 2's trying to make a move on him as well. But now Dornan Bouchard takes over the lead of the race. However, we would get another caution in this race before we could get to green flag pit stops, as the 1 and the 3 of Bobby Jones would get turned because of the 51 sliding up way too fast in there for the 51, and Bobby Jones would back it into the outside wall. So Bobby Jones, and this was also while Vince Freeze was coming down pit road to, I think, snooker everyone on the pit stop cycle, as would Eric Monaco. But remember, the pits are closed when Monaco got there. I'm not sure if the pits closed when Freeze got there. KR Subaru once again gets one of their drivers out in front. This time it's Vanderpesch leading this race over Bichelia, Brock, and DJ Curtis at a very slow pit stop here. So this is going to be interesting as green flag is back out again here. Oh, and Vanderpesch breaks down in front of the field! And the 37 clobbered him! Oh, that was a disastrous restart there. And oh boy, John Arndt makes contact with the 44. The 37's around, and that's going to definitely be... No, they're not throwing a yellow for that. Brock's leading this race, and you've got cars that are really slow on track. The 11's swerving around out there. It looks like the 77's going to try and get a lap back, as a bunch of cars have got a pit for jumping the start because they went to the wrong side. They're going to have to call that one back. And they would eventually throw the yellow for these cars that did get screwed over, like Ryan Griffin. However, it was too late to save them. Tauger and Ace Vito, I think, got saved. However, there was also the 19 was breaking down on track as well, so they just decided to throw the yellow back out for this. We're going to take a replay of this. So what happened here is just the 19 didn't go, and what happened was a lot of these cars went Ace Vito, Tauger, Griffin, Moss, and then the 37 realized that those cars were going to get penalized for passing him below on the inside line, and just not a whole lot. So Baskinger slotted back behind the 19 and just couldn't avoid, because he realized that he was going to make that mistake. So another caution comes out, and that should not be a penalty on those drivers, but apparently they did. And quite frankly, Moss and Griffin really got screwed over for it. They're down in 32nd and 33rd, and that was quite sad to see, because they were just trying to avoid a car, and they get penalized because of a rather silly rule, if you ask me. But rules are rules, I guess. Car number 9, Kenny Mine, is going to lead on the restart with William Brock in second, Noah Hart in third. So the FBRs came out on the Madeline Mine in fourth, and Chris Dunn. Look at Wallish up in sixth. And I'm just wondering if we're going to get a green flag running anytime soon. Green flag is back out again, and away we go here in this American 700. And Myatt leads this race, taking off down for turn number 1 again, and it is a big move now by Griffin, trying to get back onto the lead lap with Moss. That's a very aggressive move, and I think the 9 just ought to let him go, because they kind of got screwed over in the first place. But the 19 is also back out on track. Whatever the issue was with the 19, it got fixed. So now they are all back to beating and banging. Oh, the 88 and the 19 with the 1. That was a bit fishy there. That could have been bad, if you ask me. Zayden Davidson and Johan Arndt. Johan Arndt was pretty slow on the restart, and Zayden Davidson passed below the yellow, or before, on the inside line, and got a penalty for it. So ARCSOA's really standing by that rule there, and so he would have a stop and go penalty. The 9, however, would get a big issue here from the lead, as the 1 and the 2 would go underneath him, and then the 9 would lose 5 spots in one turn here, and is actually fighting with Bouchard as car number 1, the daughter of the former leader, now is leading this race. And we're watching car number 1 is now trying to start lapping some of these cars. So car 1 has retaken the lead with William Brock in second, Noah Hart in third. Fourth is Dornan Bouchard. Fifth is Kenny Myatt. And sixth now is Kyle Bisceglia. Seventh is Nick Pericles, who's finally started working his way up the order. Eighth is Monaco. And ninth is Ace Vito. Keep in mind, there's only really 2 Reddit Davis cars that are left in real contention right now, because the 08 doesn't look strong either right now, Johan Arndt. Zayden Davidson on newer tires now is trying to get back through the order to try and get his lap back. He's only 1 lap down, so Davidson, keep in mind, if this race continues the way it is, he would be in a situation where he needs to, I guess, get back into this race, basically. We're unsure if there's going to be another rain shower. However, there is a cluster that is starting to move toward the track, so we might go back under red again for rain. And the leaders would all bring it down pit road here. There's a couple of cars that I believe stayed out, but a lot of cars pitted at the same time here. And here is the new leader, Alex Allen. Trek Tauger stayed out as well. Dover stayed out. Hart came in a lap early. Caldwell stayed out. I'm watching Noah Hart to be a real threat as this race continues. Kenny Myatt lost a bunch of time on pit road, I personally think, as Hart is a huge leader right now. However, Madeline Myatt would get back out in front of the leaders here and take over the lead of the race again. So it's 1, 18, 2, 81, 35, 17th, of course, a lap down. 88, who is on the lead lap, I believe. Actually, no, we still have some cars on pit road still. However, they're going to lose their spots pretty quick here. So the order now is Madeline Myatt, Noah Hart, Brock, Angel, Bouchard, Curtis, Arndt, John Arndt, that is, Vince Freeze, Bisceglia, Monaco, Gurian, Allen, Myatt, Tauger, Dodd, Thaber, Halleck, Dormitory, Dover, Fitzwater, Ace Vito, Wallish, Pericles, Lamas, I believe Caldwell, and then Bobby Jones is going to go a lap down, I believe, here in a little bit. Noah Hart would catch the 1 car, though, at the end of this, toward the end of this tire run here, as now it is a battle between Noah Hart and Madeline Myatt for the lead of this race. And oh boy, here comes the 18, and the 18 has never won. Noah Hart's dreamed of winning the American 700, and now he's raced in, I think, every one of them. And now he might actually get a shot here if he keeps his run going. As a way to combat what has been going on with the current situation out on track, Noah Hart would hit the car early with the 9 of Myatt as well, who lost a ton of positions there. A bunch of cars coming in early here, as here comes the 1, the 15, and basically everybody except John Arndt, who is staying out again to try and take over this lead here, because Hart's going to have a 1-lap lead over, or going to have a 1-lap tire advantage over Myatt on this race, on this, once the strategy plays itself out. And right here's the big thing. Hart now has passed the 1. So now the 31, who is the actual leader of the race, is bringing it down pit road. The 2, oh, the 51's making a move for pit road. That was a late move for pit road, and Hart got screwed by that and is going to lose a ton of spots to the 1, the 88, and the 15. So, oh, watch out for the 84. The 84 is staying out, and this is where the real danger lies, because you've got a bunch of cars out there on older tires with a bunch of cars on newer ones. Here comes the 15 making a move now. The 1 is the leader, or is the provisional leader of this race. Oh, and the 77's trying to get to pit road. The 88 gets held up, or the 15 gets held up, and now the 18 takes back third position. So it's 1:88.15, I believe. We are now at the halfway point of the race. So the 1 is leading over Bouchard. The 15, Hart, Angel, Brock, Griffin's a lap down, Freeze, Monaco, Michelia, Myatt, and Art. Now, there is rain nearby, and technically, if they wanted to, they could call this race. However, remember, this track does have lights. We've run the American 700 practically every other year here under the lights, and now we're hearing that there's rain in turn number... There's maybe some sprinkles nearby. Just off of turn number 4, we're hearing there's sprinkles, so... Here we go again. However, before the rain would get here, DJ Curtis would now take over the lead of the race over the 1 and the 88. The 18 now has lost out a bunch of time because his tires are older. And so now you've got a situation where it is Curtis, Myatt, Bouchard, and Hart, with Sean Angel in 5th. The rain would continue to hold itself off as Curtis leads this race. However, a bunch of cars have decided to pit. So I think we're just hoping that this rain can hold off through the pit cycle. However, if it goes red, it will end up being everybody gets their lap back anyway. Moshe Gurian would be the last car to pit on lap 103 of this run here. And the lead would go back to DJ Curtis, as now it definitely is raining on the track. So the yellow flag is going to fly here in a lap. We didn't get the picture of the yellow coming out. However, on lap 105, DJ Curtis is leading over Dornan Bouchard. This is the moment as the caution flew. Remember, everybody and it would go red flag. So we're not sure, though. This could be the end of the race. DJ Curtis leads over Dornan Bouchard, Noah Hart, Madeline Myatt, Sean Angel, Vince Freeze, Brock Myatt, Kenny Myatt, Monaco Bichelia, Tauger, Allen, Acevedo, Dodd, Arndt, Wallish, Dormitory, Pericles, Fitzwater, Thaber, Lamas, Halleck, Gurian, Caldwell, Dover, Griffin, Moss, Davidson, Jones, Shallrock, Roush, Vincent Allen, and then after that, everybody else will not be able to run. So after Vincent Allen, Johan Art, Vanderpesch, and Dunbar would also be out along with Baskinger, Rahal, and Padcar. However, we're not even sure if this race is going to go back green, and if that's the case, there will be one more clip then of DJ Curtis taking the victory ceremony. However, like I said, we've got track dryers and we've got lights here, so I don't know, DJ Curtis, it depends how long this rainstorm lasts. DJ Curtis might end up just stealing the American 700 despite being a rain-shortened event. We'll see you later for an update.